Yeah, a little slack. Let's see what we got here. Alright, I got some silicone here. It's supposed to be, it says 100% waterproof, freeze and sunproof. So we're going to pump this full of silicone in here. We'll find out if it's waterproof since it's going to be submerged. Alright, it'll take a little while for that to dry. I guess I'll come back and I won't mess with it for a little bit. Come back and slide that handle all the way, the whole length of that, and then put a couple ends on our wire. Alright, well, we got our silicones dried now, I think. It's pretty decent. Pretty solid. Put my handle on, as you can see. Just slid it down the whole length of the wire. Also went around and I put shrink tubing about every 3 feet or so, I guess, just different pieces that I had or whatever, but just to kind of hold that all together. And you know, I could have used, you know, I could have went and bought an extension cord and just cut the ends off of that and used those, and you know, all the wire would have been contained within there, and it probably would have been a lot easier. But of course I didn't go that way because I was pretty sure I could get this wire for free, and I did. And so in the interest of keeping costs down and all that kind of stuff, that's why I did that. But I kind of like to see what I can make out of things that I have mostly just laying around without having to buy too much stuff. So that's why I did that. But anyway, this is what we came up with. So all we have left now to do is put these battery clamps on here on our wires. So let's get to doing that next. I should have put a piece of shrink tubing on that too. I knew that probably wasn't going to stay on there. Yeah, maybe I can pump some silicone or maybe some hot glue or something in there to hold that little deal on. So it's probably, yeah, just slides right off. I knew it was going to do that. That's okay. We'll fix it, or tape or something like that. Maybe we'll just put a little tape on it. That's what we'll do. Actually, I'll wait on this one. I think I've actually got some red tape up at the house, and I'll wrap some red electrical tape on there. Well, we'll put the black electrical tape on this one. I've already put my piece on there. I don't suppose those pieces would shrink down if I heated them up. Probably not. I don't believe it's shrink tubing. Get in there, you. If I was smart, I would have put a piece of that shrink tubing on there first, I guess. Slide it down, then slide it over the top of this, and then heat it up. But I guess I wasn't very smart. If it causes a problem, we'll redo it. Right now, this will work. At least I think it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Now all we got to do is hook it up to a battery and give it a test. Okay, here we are at the pond. You can see it's frozen all the way around. It was pretty cold here the last couple of weeks. You know, not terrible, but I mean, I don't know, around here it's cold. It's down to around 17, 19 degrees for several days. Right now it's up to about 48 degrees, it's getting warm. That's why I was wanting to kind of get this done. I didn't have time to do it during the week when it was really cold, but I don't know how thick that ice is. But I'm going to have to put my waders on, and don't know if I could step on that. Yeah, it's starting to break. But I'll get my waders on, and I'm going to just chop a hole big enough for me to work and get this thing down in there, and we'll see how it does. Oh, I'll just show you here real quick. I can get you out of the sun here. This is our goose blind that we got going here. So anyway, there was actually 2 geese over on that side of the pond when I first got here. I just came down to check the ice, see if there was, you know, how much ice was on the pond, and they of course took off. And then I went up to the house and grabbed all the stuff so I can, you know, do this. And when I came down, there was another 10 that had landed on there. They've been flying all over the place, looking for open water somewhere. So let's see if we can get them some. geese, they just tried to land here. Another bunch of them. See if that hole's big enough to put it down in there. If not, I'll make it a little bigger. Here's the ice. It's about, I don't know, 1.5 inches thick, something I would say. So. Alright, here's our battery. You know what, folks? I have not even hooked this up to a battery yet, so I don't even know if it's going to come on. We'll give it a try here. Surely it'll come on. There we go. Doing something anyway. Don't know if that's the best angle or not, but I'll put this back on the tripod. Maybe I'll try a couple of angles and just see what looks best. Well, that's not too bad. I'm already happy with it. I don't know how good this will open a hole, but I think it'll be really good for, like, if you come in and open kind of your own hole. I think it'll help maintain it, you know, keep that water moving and everything so it doesn't refreeze. But this is a good test anyway. I wanted to test this, just see how good it does work, just from hardly making any hole at all. Alright, this has been exactly 20 minutes, so it's still going strong. I've moved it a couple of times actually. I don't know what I've gone, about 4 feet or something. Moved it from where it was, because it's eating it out pretty good. At least I think so anyway. Keep in mind, folks, I have never seen an ice eater work in person. Never been around one, never like I said, seen one in person. I've only seen it on videos and stuff like that, but I'm pretty happy with this anyway. This is pretty awesome. It really, it's kind of hard to tell from this video, but you get up close to it and all that ice in front of it there is just really melting away and getting thinner. And I think that'll be a really cool deal. you know, if there wasn't any ice, that'd really put a lot of motion in your decoys probably, you know, if you kind of angled it down a little bit to where it wasn't quite so so many waves or whatever, but that would still work pretty good. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. It's been 40 minutes so far. This is still the first battery. I've got my other battery here waiting, but we haven't used it yet. You see all that out there? Now, that it's hard for you to probably tell off of this video, but that is not all open water out there. That's just the water that's sitting on the ice. It's just pretty much opening a hole right here where it's at. But you know, eventually, I mean, that is thinning that ice out though, and it's going to make it open water. But I'm not trying to fool you guys. I just want you to know that that's not all open water out there where you see that where you see it shiny. That's just the water sitting on there. But that's enough to fool the geese. They'll come in there and think it might be open water, just close enough for us to get a shot. All right, we're at an hour here. Same battery, still going pretty strong. I haven't noticed any reduction in power at all yet. And here's where we started. Sorry, I'm panting here a little bit, folks. My dog just got stuck in the ice over there. See that hole right there? He fell through the ice and I had to go rescue him. Thought I was going to have to ditch my waders and go swimming, but I got him. Big dummy. He's a happy dog now. Okay, I just wanted to do just a little bit of it. That's the ice eater completely underwater. Every bit of it, wires and everything's underwater. Still same battery. Okay, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. I just so I put it out a little bit farther and then put it completely underwater and then tilted the bucket up just a little bit. So I'm pretty happy with it. I was going to do the other battery, but excuse me, I don't think I will. I've got things to do. This pretty much shows what it can do. And you know, a lot colder day, probably going to have a lot different results. You know, I'm getting a lot of help from the sun, but I didn't break any of this ice other than what I, you know, put it in there. Everything else, I just wanted to see what the ice eater by itself would do. If I'd have gone along and broke this ice as it got thinner and moved it around, I'd have had a heck of a lot bigger hole. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just see, again, what this would do just by itself. Okay, I've actually walked away from this. I had some things to do. I've just let it run. It's been going, this is the same battery, the first battery, and it's been going for about 10 minutes less than 3 hours, almost 3 hours. So that's the power we still got in it. In fact, I'm gonna switch over to this new battery. We'll just see how much that changes. So there you go, that's the difference. And like I say, don't criticize my hole too bad because I haven't been down here tending to it or anything or moving it around or whatever. I just left it in that one spot, and again, I had things to do. So anyway, that's the general idea. So I guess if you guys want to make one, there you go. That might be the results that you can get, and I'm pretty happy with it. So well, when we actually use it, we'll take our batteries and put it inside the blind here. There you go, we got our decoys and stuff in there right now, but set it there on the floor or something somewhere. And anyway, that's inside of our blind a little bit. It's kind of cozy, not too bad. We've done all right. There's a shotgun wad and some shotgun shells laying around. Anyway, there you have it, folks. So I guess if you got an old trolling motor laying around and some angle iron of some kind, you can maybe try to put one together, and maybe you'll expect those results, or maybe you can do even better too. So good luck, have fun.